Hello, hello. Welcome back to Happiness by Habit. Greetings from the Lonser Festival in Austin. Today I am super well. Have a VIP guest today. Her name is Charlotte Canion. She's a best-selling author. Welcome to the show, dear Charlotte.
Thank
And
you.
we are matching colors and everything. So we didn't plan this, but it happens. That's something special. Charlotte, I would love to hear your story because I'm so intrigued with the title and with the book. I cannot wait to go through and read it, actually.
Well, just in a nutshell, 25 years ago, I had a father-in-law with dementia, a mother with Alzheimer, a dad with Parkinson. And that's not a journey we're trained for. That's nothing that, and I was the only female in the family, and 98% of caregivers are female.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to give up a job that I loved. I was an event planner for a large corporation. I had a ball, but I had to retire early to take care of these three seniors. Since then, it's become my passion. When my mother passed in 2017, and then God spoke to me and he said, "Now write your book." I have written a child's book now, but at the time I had not written a book and I was 70 years old. And God said, "Now write your book." God, did you see my grades in English? Just like you and I are talking, he said, "You tell great stories. Editors can take care of any of that." Within 6 weeks, I got an email inviting me to a writer's seminar.
Wow, isn't that something?
I'm
The
going,
way
yeah, it just
life
all
works.
fell together.
Right.
11 months later, this book is in my hands. The next year, it's a bestseller in Texas. And then I won 9 awards with this international. And I've been flown to, I've been on Good Morning America, Good Morning Texas. I've had about half a dozen magazines do articles on. I was in a magazine with Susan Lucci, so I always thought that was cool.
That is super cool for sure. Oh my
That was-
goodness.
But that's kind of the journey. And it's what I found was I thought I was alone walking this journey. No, I'm not alone. Everyone is either been a caregiver, is a caregiver, or will be a caregiver.
Mhm.
It's going to touch all of us. Now, whether you embrace it or not is another story. So now I don't do anything halfway. You don't know me very well, but I went to the National Association of Speakers, got my certification. So now I speak on this passionately all
Yes.
over about how caregivers take care of themselves, but also how they can walk the journey. And I do it with 4 golden rules.
Tell me
They
about
are,
it.
They are love.
Mm-hmm.
You have to love unconditionally.
For sure.
Respect. You have to respect them for who, what, and where they are. And also respect yourself. Patience. You have to have patience. First with yourself, because they're going to do things that will kind of make you, get unnervous and go, "Oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do now?" The last is forgiveness. To me, forgiveness is the biggest because we've got things we need to forgive from the past, things we're going to have to forgive in the future, and the things that are happening right now that we need to learn to forgive. I keep thinking if the world would be, love, respect, patience, and forgiveness, it'd be a great world to live in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would love to. I don't think we have mentioned the name of your book, which is gonna click for many. You have to laugh to keep from crying. How to parent your parents. And this is so relatable. Well, actually, at this time in my life, I haven't been in that situation yet, but I can relate to the fact that in order to be a good caregiver, you need to love a lot, which is what I have experienced as a mother, because the things we do for our kids, oh my goodness. I mean, I couldn't take a quarter of what I'm taking from anybody else. Like, it's that love that makes you so patient, to makes you, and also because there is no plan B. I mean, you are there to take care of them and you need to do your best. And that a lot of times tests your patience. So that's very powerful. And also love, I think, is a beautiful way to give back to them because our parents loved us and care for us. And now it's a good opportunity some of us have to give back to them.
Well, it's taking care of them the way they took care of us.
Exactly.
Sure.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And also sets a good example for your kids because when they see who you are, like you're taking care of your parents, that's a very important lesson in life for them.
You know what I'm noticing? Of course, like I said, I have 24 grandkids, but I'm noticing even in the industry, I speak for AARP, Alzheimer Association has me speak for them, and I go all around. And what I'm finding, it's interesting to me, is my audience has a lot of grandchildren, and it's mostly granddaughters. I'm not throwing men under the bus. They just don't have that nurturing, and you as a mother and myself. you start loving that child once you feel it good, once you know it's there. We love them beyond.
Sometimes and be like,
Yes.
oh,
If I
yes.
had a child. Yeah. But I mean, that's one of the things is our compassion. We have that capacity. Now, there are a few guys. I've ran into some marvelous people in the industry. But what I want to tell you, the senior health industry, if you don't have a compassion for seniors and the patients, they're gone. I've seen, someone come in and I don't want to, but if you see something, don't keep it to yourself. Let people know because our seniors, without them, we wouldn't be here.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, speaking about seniors, you told me earlier your age. I don't know if you mind. If you don't want to say. Oh,
I don't mind.
Oh, you don't mind? Go ahead.
No, I
Please
don't
tell
mind.
us. First of all, I wish people can guess. But when I look at you, I would say 60s, maybe high 60s. But please hit us.
I
Tell
have
us.
kids that age. So
Oh, wait.
I'm in my 80th.
Isn't that amazing? When you told me, I'm like, wow. I think a lot of that has to do with the way you live and the way you're grateful, you're happy, you love, and you have patience. Well, and I think that's beautiful because you're talking about taking care of seniors, but you are senior. You're a senior, and you're amazing. You don't look like your age at all. So
Well,
I think that's a really beautiful gift that life is giving you because it is granting you like youth, right?
But I think what's funny is like I guess I do, but good for my age.
Yes,
But it opens doors. But then what it does is allow them to see the inside of me, which is my passion is for seniors. Because one thing I was sharing with some other people at our Lone Star Festival, they were talking about frustrations with mom. And they were talking about telling whatever. And I said, oh my gosh, never tell them they're wrong because that just frustrates them first, then you, and the whole environment. If my mother told me that grass was purple, I'd say, Mom, it's pretty purple. But I had to learn that. What I'm trying to do is help people walk this journey of caring for a loved one. And it could be a good friend, it could be their spouse, it could be their parents, it could be their child. Those 4 golden rules: love, respect, patience, and forgiveness.
Let's talk about forgiveness because I was blessed with amazing parents who did above and beyond what any parent will do. Like they raised me with so much love that I can always be grateful for them. But there are some cases that it's not that situation. So how important is to forgive them?
It's very important. And like I said, I go back and I speak a lot, but I share a story and it's in my book and it's called The Forgiveness Story. And without telling the whole story, my dad did some horrible. Now, I'm not going to give him gratitude, but when he was 2 years old, his mother died. So he didn't have, he should have had. When he was 12, his father died. When he was 15, he was a Marine in a foxhole near Guadalcanal. Does that warrant things he did? Does it mold who he was? So I have people come up to me and they'll tell me stories. And after I've shared my forgiveness story, my dad did something to my daughter and I had to be his caregiver in his litter. So I had to forgive that. Now, was it a journey? Yes, it was. But I have ladies come up and they go, I haven't spoken to my sister in 20 years. And I said, do you remember what? And they will say no.
Wow.
So then you call her and apologize and say, hey, we just need to let this go past. And it's gone. Because what happened yesterday, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. So all we got to do is just get past them.
Oh my God, I love that story. And also, I think when we forgive, not only it's good for the other person, but especially for us.
Healing for us.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know who suffered? I've had sisters come, or, a sister come up and say, my sister passed and I never spoke to her. And I said, who's suffering for that? She is. I said, well, here's what I want you to do. And I want to suggest this to your listeners.
Yes.
If the person you want to forgive is not with you, sit down and write them a letter. You fold it up and put it in a very safe place. And that will be your forgiveness. That will start healing.
So powerful. Absolutely. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you so much, Charlotte. I commend you for whatever. Your story is so beautiful. You are an amazing person. I just got to know you today.
That is my mother's hands on the cover.
Oh, wow, look at this. Her mother's hand. Oh, that's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Well, congratulations on the best-selling of this book. And what is next for you? What are you
Well, I
working
just
on?
wrote it my second children's book, which will be my 10th book. But what I wanted to encourage is If you're over 70, reinvent yourself. There's probably passions you never did when you were younger or something you wanted to learn. Maybe you want to learn French. I've always wanted to be an entertainer. I now entertain 3 or 4 times a month, and I'm loving it.
Oh my God, I bet you are amazing on that. Oh, I would love to be entertained by you. Having this conversation is so fulfilling. So I'm sure that those entertainment events are so much fun and feeling. Yes. Well, thank you very much for your time. Charlotte, where can people find your books?
It's on Amazon. And like I say, it's a bestseller. But if you want to contact me, you can contact me at charlotte@charlottecanion.com, and I will mail you an autographed copy.
Wow, look at that. That's amazing.
Yeah, and it does have the workbook that goes with it. And that was my editor's idea. And it's been
Oh, for
so
sure. You need to
amazing.
do it like, yeah, that's the perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I'm sure our listeners are going to be very pleased to read your books and to learn more about your story.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.